Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's my great honor to receive the Clark Award for Imagination in Service to Society. This award is a reward for imagination, a capability that should have been exclusive to God, but we, as human beings, luckily have. And the meaning of the existence of imagination is far beyond our imagination. A historian used to say that the main reason why human beings have been able to surpass other species on Earth and build civilizations is that they can create in their brains something non-existent in reality. In the future, when artificial intelligence becomes smarter than us, imagination may be the only advantage we have over AI, but that's enough. Science fiction is a literary genre based on imagination, and the first sci-fi works to greatly impress me were those by Arthur Clarke. Together with George Verne and George Wells, Clarke was among the first Western modern sci-fi writers to enter China. In early 1980s, 2001, A Space Odyssey and Rendezvous with Rama were published in China. At that time, the Cultural Revolution just came to an end, while the old life and faith had collapsed. The new ones had not yet been established. Like other young people, I was confused and felt lost. However, these two books aroused my imagination for the first time. My mind opened up like never before. I felt like a narrow stream finally embracing the sea. At the midnight when I finished the 2001 A Space Odyssey, I walked out of my room and stared at the starry sky. I was able to see the galaxy thanks to the unpolluted sky of China back then. That night, in my eyes, the starry sky was completely different from the past. For the first time in my life, I was awed by the grandeur and the mystery of the universe. That feeling was religious. And later, Rendezvous with Rama made me amazed by showing how imagination could build a lifelike, fantastic world. It was Clarke that brought me such a feeling, and that brought me here as a science fiction writer. Today, more than 30 years later, it gradually dawns on me that people like me, who was born in 1960s in China, are probably the luckiest people in human history, because no generation like us who have been able to witness such tremendous changes in the world around us. The world we are living in today is completely different from that in our childhood. And such changes are taking place with even greater speed. China is a highly futuristic country. It is true that the future of China may be full of challenges and risks, but never has the future of this country been so attractive like today. This reality provides the fertile soil for the growth of science fiction, which is enjoying unprecedented attention in this country. And as a sci-fi author born in the 1960s in China, I'm the luckiest in the luckiest generation. At the very beginning, I wrote science fiction because looking for a way to escape the dull life and to reach out with the imagination to the faraway and mysterious time and space that I could never truly reach. But then I found that the world around me became more and more like science fiction. And this process is speeding up. Future is like a powering submarine. It falls right on us even before we have time to open an umbrella. Meanwhile, it is frustrating to find that when sci-fi becomes reality, it loses all its magical and the sense of wonder. It will soon become part of our dull and boring lives. Therefore, the only thing I can do is to push my imagination to even more distant time and space, to hunt for the mysterious and the miraculous of science fiction, which will become part of our daily life with greater speed. As a science fiction author, I think my job and mission is to write things down before they get really boring. This being said, the world is moving in the direction opposite to Clarke's prediction. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, in the year of 2001, which has already passed, human beings have built magnificent cities in space and established permanent colonies on the moon. And huge nuclear-powered spacecraft have sailed to Saturn. However, today, in 2018, the work on the moon has become a distant memory, and the farthest reach of all manned space flight is just as long as the 2-hour mileage of a high-speed train passing through my city. At the same time, information technology is developing at an unimaginable speed. With the entire world covered by the internet, people have gradually lost their interest in space, as they find themselves increasingly comfortable in the space created by IT, instead of an exploration of the real space, which is full of real difficulties and dangers. People now just prefer to experience virtual space through VR. Just like someone said, you promise me an ocean of stars, but you actually give me Facebook. This reality is also reflected in science fiction, Clarke's magnificent imagination about the space has gradually faded away. People have taken back their eyes from the stars. In the sci-fi works today, there are more imagination about how we live in cyber-utopia or dystopia. Writers focus more on various problems we encounter in reality. The imagination of science fiction is abounding in the vastness and the profoundness of Arthur Clarke, and embracing the narrowness and introversion of cyberpunk. As a science fiction writer, I have been striving to continue Clarke's imagination. I believe that the boundless space is still the best direction and destination for human imagination. I have always been portraying the grandeur and the mysterious of the universe, interstellar expeditions, and the lives and the civilizations in the distant worlds. For today's science fiction writers, this may seem childish and even outdated. As Clarke's epitaph says, he never grew up, but he never stopped growing. Unlike the misunderstanding of many people, science fiction is not writing to predict the future. It just makes a list of possibilities of the future, like display a pile of cobblestones of imagination for people to see and play with. Science fiction can never tell which possible future will become the real future. This is not science fiction's job. It's also beyond its capabilities. But one thing is certain. In the long run, for all these countless possible futures, any future without the interest in the sea of the stars will be gloom, no matter how prosperous our one planet becomes. I look forward to the day when, like the science fiction works writing about the age of information, those about the space travel finally become ordinary. At that time, Mars and the asteroid belts will be boring places where countless people are making a living there. Jupiter and its many satellites will be tourist attraction. The only obstacle preventing people from going there will be the high price. But even at that time, the universe is still something so big that even our wildest imagination fails to catch its age. And the closest star is still out of our reach. The vast ocean of stars can always carry our infinite imagination. Thank you all.